Alright, so what we've got here is a cycling orthotic today. This is one of mine actually. What I've got here is a base of our sports orthotic, and the sports model, as you'll see, is cut in through the outside a little bit and cut in through the inside. So technically with an orthotic generally that should be nice and parallel down through the outside here, and you'll see just on the side of my finger there how it curves in, and the same with this one here where it's usually nice and parallel, it curves in. So with a general cycle shoe it tends to be a lot narrower just through that midfoot, so through this area here, which is then why we need an orthotic that is going to cater for that shoe. We've also got a lot lower heel cup, so this here is about a 6mm high heel cup, which provides all the support that you generally need within a cycle shoe, just for the fact that you've got more force and pressure going through the forefoot rather than the rear foot. And what we've done here then on top of that is actually just covered the orthotic with the original insole from the shoe itself. It appears to be made of like a very firm EVA type material through there, and one of the issues that I've been having with this is a bit of a numb ball of foot, which is pretty common in most cyclists and in cycle shoes. What I tend to get is when my foot gets tired, it does splay out a lot, and I have the same thing with like running shoes and a few others where after I go for a little bit my foot does start to fatigue and it does splay out a lot. That then causes a lot of tightness through the forefoot area within the shoe, and that also causes my foot to then go a little bit numb. So what we're going to do here today is just modify these a little bit with a top cover. So the top cover through here tends to be, that's around about 3 to 4mm thickness, and obviously that takes extra room up just through the ball of the foot. I've had a metatarsal dome on there, and you can kind of see just where the glue outline was, and where I put it was just in the center of my foot, but I found that when I did wear it, the numbness and everything was kind of a little bit more lateral, so a little bit more through the third and the fourth kind of area through the outside. So where we're going to cover this in a slightly softer and a thinner material, we're then going to change up the Met Dome position, which is just to the outside. So the material we're going to use to cover it is it's elastic EVA, so it's like regular EVA except a lot more bouncy and a lot more durable, so it's really good stuff. Means it doesn't take as much time to recover after you have worn it. It expands back out, maintains its durability and softness for quite a lot longer than standard EVA as well. And then on top of that we've just got a very durable nylon cover. So we want something that's a little bit more durable just through, especially through that ball of the foot area where there is high pressures going through it. We don't want something that's going to wear out too quickly. So we're just going to go through the recovering of this and refitting it back into the shoe. The shoe that we're putting it in is to an X-Works Exodus, and so that's the shoe that we've got here. Extremely lightweight shoe, not much in terms of support and padding, which is what I wanted. Like, I'm absolutely fine with not having a quite as stable shoe and not quite having as much support through there, and just preferring something that's a little bit lighter. And look, I like these tops here. The tops are very similar to like your top running shoes as well, with mesh type material that is quite breathable and very durable through there. The front here is a little bit stretchy as well, and that's nice to have that extra bit of stretch to allow that little bit of expansion as well once your foot does start to fatigue a little bit. So that's the shoe that it's going into. Currently that fits in absolutely perfect, as we said, but I just want to cut down on the width through here. So the width on the outside, the current insole just overlaps the side of that shoe a little bit. We're going to make that a little bit narrower to free up a little bit of extra room just through the forefoot. So let's get these recovered. So we're just going to recover these orthotics now. To start with, this stuff comes off pretty easy just with the way it was. So we're just going to peel that up. And it'll come off just in one piece, which is pretty lucky, almost. There we go. A little bit of that old glue will just come up a little bit as well. Okay, now we're putting the base on this in a material called Cambrel, and it's a nylon based material that's pretty strong. We're trying to keep that base as thin as we possibly can, so that's what we're going to use for the undercover today. And we're going to have to use an undercover on this just because we're putting the metatarsal dome. Otherwise, if we don't put the undercover on, the metatarsal dome is bare and showing underneath, and then because is going to be made of a pour-on material, it's going to end up degrading pretty quickly. So the undercover here is pretty important. And we're lucky again today that the weather's really warm, so this is going to dry pretty quickly. That's one. So we usually use another vinyl piece to go underneath, but the vinyl tends to be a little bit on the thicker side, so today we're just sticking with that cambrel. And we're just going to pre-do our covers here. That's good. And we're just going to do the other one and sit that in the sun for a second as well. That'll get that glue just warmed up to make it a little bit stickier. Number 2. So then we can just go straight away and we can apply this to the base. This is a slightly thinner piece, so we've got to be careful with where we put it on just to make sure that it's going to cover the whole part. So we'll just place that on top just to see, and that looks pretty good. Alright, and the same with the other one. I'm going to put that bottom bit on first. That's number 2. Alright, so we're going to get the met dome now. We've got our met domes, and these are made of a polyurethane type material, which again is just soft and cushiony, and also very durable as well. So this is a closed cell material that again doesn't absorb moisture or anything like that on it. Alright, so we're just going to stick that in the sun for 2 seconds, and we're going to grab, already got the template through here just with the original insoles. Alright, and they're pretty much dry, so we're just going to place them a little bit further on the outside, as we said, towards that 3rd and 4th metatarsal, so we can see that on there through the outside. And we're going to do exactly the same with the other one, and these are generally placed just in front of the shell. So we're kind of looking, and you can see the shell there. We're overlapping that shell by about 1/2 to 1 centimeter forward. Glue over the top. And these tops are dry, so we're just going to stick this in the sun for 2 seconds. Alright, so this one's now dry, so we're just going to place this on top of our elastic EVA. Make sure all the sides are pushed down through there. It's important to try to make sure that you haven't got glue on your hands at this time, because it does like to stick to the cambrel base, and then it makes it very difficult to get off. Even with glue rid stuff, it still doesn't like it very much. So that's perfect, that's all down. This top cover's 2 millimeters as well, so just over possibly, about 2.5. That should give us a fair bit of extra cushioning. Just where it's a lot softer than the original insole that's inside the shoe as well. So I was just starting to feel that was very, very firm through the ball of your foot. And it's not so bad if you're just doing something that's quick and short, but when you're kind of getting to the point of where it's 30, 40k and over, it does feel very, very firm. Alright, so we're just going to template around there, and we're going to use the original insole from it. And when it comes to putting it in the shoe, we are just going to make it a little bit narrower. ground up. We're going to get it on the grinder now. Alright, so there we go. That's our new cycling orthotic. So we've got that little med dome in there, just in the right spot where I wanted to give it a go, and fit straight into the shoe. Perfect. Alright guys, so if you want a cycling orthotic done, we do them all here, and we've got specific models, as we said before, for cycling that fits perfectly in there, slightly tapered, flatter through the base, comes in through the sides just where the shoe itself is tapered in a lot narrower. So for anyone with that ball of the foot, aching, pain, numbness going through it, we'll get you sorted.